Good day. Today I want to talk about the topic of food parcel politics. Food parcel distribution in George, South Africa to township communities during COVID-19 lockdown um, had introduced us to many facets of food parcel politics. South Africans after 25 years have reluctantly come to accept that food parcels have become political tools that politicians from all political parties use to improve their political currency. Food parcel politics, however, is not unique to South Africa. Very interestingly, academic papers confirm that food parcel politics, with all its divisiveness, was prevalent during World War One, when food parcels were used to support affected prisoners of war. A Google search of food parcel politics during COVID-19 returns numerous articles covering the efforts being made by various stakeholders who distribute food parcels, the corruption that exists around the provision of food parcels, and the political divisiveness that is at play within communities who need the food parcels. Lockdown in South Africa started on the 26th of March for 21 days. They should have ended on the 16th of April. It was generally accepted that people would experience food insecurity during this period and that various interventions would be needed to provide food security should lockdown become protracted. It was extended to April 30th of April, um, and it necessitated that the envisioned food security interventions kick in. Based on media reports of communities protesting for food, the increase in looting, the increased call for donations, the increased number of organizations providing food parcels and food kitchens, it would appear that the poor and vulnerable were able to, with their own resources, provide food security for about 3 weeks. From week 4, food insecurity leading to hunger set in significant numbers, uh, needing food to be provided to starve off hunger. The interventions happened at a national government level, provincial level, municipal level, and community level. Government, non-profit organizations, and private individuals mobilized to respond to the increasing demand for food. George, like all other communities in South Africa, had very much the same experience and response. Across the communities, people were reporting that they were not receiving food support or that what was being provided was totally inadequate. The George municipality had to endure criticism from many quarters with the initial response of about 150 food parcels that was distributed, 5 parcels per ward. The political opposition responded in a unified way, providing alternative food parcels and food kitchens to many households across George. This, of course, was in addition to the response from the non-profit sector. Social media provided many stakeholders an easy platform to expose what they were doing in the food parcel politics space, and photos flooded social media profiles and groups. Others use these platforms to criticize and debate the efforts or perceived lack of efforts being made in the provision of food security. True to form, the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, when addressing the issue of food parcel politics in his newsletter, expressed himself in a manner that allowed us to conclude that he had learned something that was not known to him before, about the deep structural inequality and excessive poverty and vulnerability that is so pervasive in South African society. Why he continues to choose to express him in a way that communicates surprise boggles the mind. But this has now become his trademark. However, he did confirm that action would be taken and promised the expansion of resources to ensure food security for the vulnerable. In addition, there was a suggestion that what he learned during COVID-19 about the vulnerability of the poor would lead to policy changes that we hope will result in real structural changes within the South African society. A well-known charitable organization in George found themselves in the middle of the food parcel war when it was reported on social media that they had been appointed by the George municipality to implement a food parcel program with money received by the municipality for food parcels. What was highlighted was the relationship one of the councillors had with the organization. In the tit for tat, one of the organization leaders expressed his frustration about the mistrust and suspicion they had been subjected to during this time, and threatened to stop providing food parcels if this did not stop. This, of course, would punish the poor starving in the community, and it could actually be regarded that they were blackmailing other stakeholders to stop scrutinizing the activities. The organization also took their own shots at local politicians, suggesting that they deliberately allowed misinformation to take root in the community despite having the correct information. These displays leaves us with no doubt that they understood the dynamics of food parcel politics and had the ability to hold their own within this food parcel wars. As I said earlier, food parcel politics has been around for a very long time, even since World War One. In South African politics since 1994, it has become a distasteful part of how our liberal democracy does politics in vulnerable townships. COVID-19 has, like with many other aspects of South African society, um, let food parcel politics scream out at us its divisive and harmful side. The negative impact of food parcel politics um, is appropriately expressed in the words of the South African president, who said, "Our lockdown has revealed a very sad fault line in our society that reveals how grinding poverty, inequality, and unemployment is tearing the fabric of our community apart."